Hello and a very good day everyone. Selamat pagi, salam sejahtera. So in this particular video, what I'm going to show you is we are going to actually prepare a dashboard in Power BI. So basically, dashboard plays an important role. So if just say I were to clear this, you will notice the number changes and we can actually prepare a dynamic presentation in Power BI. So let's get started and I'm going to show you on how to actually prepare dashboard in Power BI. Right, so right now we do have a data where we have the date, the Apple product models, sales method, cities, categories, countries, region, and sales. So now in this particular data, what I want to do is I want to actually bring this data to Power BI and I want to see the month-on-month performance for each Apple product categories, and I want to have a slicer as well. So first step is we need to click the get data from Excel so that it will try to import the data from Excel, and then you need to know where you save your file. So if just say you save in your documents, you need to refer to your documents. I'm going to go to documents and I'm going to click it over here and press enter, and then another box will appear. So this is where we need to choose the particular worksheet. So what I'm going to do is I'll just select this worksheet and then I press load. So sometimes you need to actually go to transform data when you want to add column, calculate column, and so on. But later we'll go to transform data. I'm going to show you. I'm going to press load. So pressing load means it will automatically load the data to the Power BI desktop. And in this case, why I never press transform, why I press load, because I want to show you what happens if just say we press load and we never press transform. So in this case, for example, I just click a visual over here and I click the sales and I click the date. So apparently what happened is when you tick the date and the sales, you will notice it will appear in this format. So the problem is when your data is not formatted in a proper format, like for example, date format should appear in a proper date format. So in this case, since this is not in the proper date format, what you need to do is you need to go to transform data. So this is where we can edit, and in the transform data you need to look at your columns. So apparently in this date column it shows ABC123. So click the ABC123 and then just click the date, and then eventually it will show in a date format. So now when I press close and apply, what happened is now it will have some changes, because when it's a date format, over here there will be icon. So I can unselect this and then I can just select the month. So now it's in a proper presentation. But apparently I don't want this format. I want in a matrix format, so whereby we do have the months and I want to actually know the Apple product categories. So I'm going to drag it, put it over here. So right now we have Apple product categories, and if you want to have the 1000 separator, you can actually click over here and just click the comma, so you'll have the 1000 separator. And if just say you want to increase the size, you want to change format, so you can go here over values. So what happened is actually we want to increase the size. We can actually go to the row headers and put here 20, and column headers we can do the same, put here 20. And if just say you don't want this total over here, you can actually go to this column subtotal, close it, and you can just do it like that. So now we do have this data. Okay, so let me just adjust accordingly so that it looks better. Okay, so now here you go. So here if just say you want to change format, you can actually go to layout and then you click on here and you choose minimal, so you can actually change the format accordingly. Alright, so now what I want to do next is I actually want to show about the like conditional formatting, and of course want to show the month-on-month performance. So you can actually try over here. You can just click this, you can click the month, and then you can also click the sales. So here it shows me the monthly performance. But if just say I want to create a DAX measure, I can actually use the previous month. So I go to new measure, and then over here I write here previous month, and then I'm going to write here calculate. So calculate is something like sum if, count if function in Excel. So calculate means it will calculate the average, it will calculate the minimum, maximum, depending on certain filter, depending on certain criteria. So I want to calculate the sum of sales, and provided it's a filter of previous month. So previous month, I'm going to choose here date, close bracket, close bracket. So this is the formula will calculate the total sales for previous month. When I press enter and I tick over here, what happened is it will show me the previous month sales. That means like here you'll see here 3.7, 3.2, 3.6 and so on. And the purpose is, that's the reason, because I want to calculate the month on month. So I'll just go to new measure and I'll write here MOM, and then over here I'm going to write here if Okay, but before if, I'll show you why I write if. Okay, just say I never write if. I just want to know the sum of sales minus the previous month. Okay, so when I just tick over here, what happened is it will actually show me the data. Like that means, let me just show correctly. So for example, 3.29, 3.7, there is a reduction in February, so 400,000. So all it shows okay. However, for January, it shows 3.7 because when this minus this, you get this. So what I want to do is, I will choose the if formula because if you see here, December 3.4, that is the sales on December is 3.4, but the previous month is 3.488, so that means there is a reduction in December, but some months got increased. Like for example, July is 3.6, year 3.5 increased by this. So if just say I don't want the January to show the number, I want it to show as 0, you can actually put like this: if previous month equals to 0, then you put 0, otherwise comma and then close bracket, and just like that we will have the data like that. Alright, so now I don't want this visual. The reason is why I did this formula or create the visual just now to show you what is previous month and month on month. But now since our month on month is something like this, shows the month on month performance, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this format your visual, cell element, and then over here, since we have icons, so I just turn on and I click X over here. So this is where I will try to choose the rules based on raw data and based on month on month. So we need to have the previous month in order to get month on month, and once we have month on month, then only we can create a conditional formatting like a icon set. So what I want to do over here is everything I change here number, this also I change number, this also I change to number. Okay, next thing is, okay, let it be less than 100%. This one is more than minimum. Okay, it should be more than minimum. If anything more than minimum, less than 0, what I want to do is I want to show a red arrow indicating this red down arrow means there is a negative or there is a drop in sales and so on. So like that. And if anything which is greater than, not more than and equal to, but just greater than only, greater than 0 and less than 100%, I want to put as green color arrow. Okay, and then I just press OK. So just like that, you will notice, okay, that means January 385,000, February there is a drop, March there is increase. Why increase? Because year 340 to 380. So this is how you can actually, the manager can see the data and so on. Okay, so now what I want to do is I actually want to create a slicer. So I'll just click the slicer over here, and then I want a slicer based on region. So I put region, I want in a drop down list. So I click here, I put here drop down, and then if you just say I want the size, okay, maybe I put here 15, and the value, so I put 15. Okay, so this is the data over here. What I'm going to do is I'll just put it here. So this we have a region, copy and paste, and this visual over here I want for the countries, and then I'll just copy and paste. This is for cities, and then one more, maybe I want for sales method, and then one more I want maybe for, maybe I'll just put for Apple product categories. Okay, so I'll just unselect here, and then the final one is for Apple product models. Okay, so we have many over here, so let me just put it this at the top. Okay, so I'll just highlight all this, and I also click this as well. So yep, so we have selected all these slicer. What I want to do is I'll just go to this format, align, distribute vertically, and then it will be distributed vertically. So this one I'll just put it towards the left, this one also towards the left, align to the left, align to the left. So now it looks better. And then over here we can put a title. So maybe sales performance of Apple products and this and so on. So maybe I'll just put another text measure to make it more interactive. So maybe I'll put here title, and then I'll just put here sales of overall products. And then I put here selected value. So I'm going to put here region, and then the word. So just like that. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put here cut, and I'll just take the title. So I need to change the color first. So you need to go to multi-cut, and then you need to just change the background. So I'll just change the background accordingly, and then I'll just change the cut accordingly. Remove the border, and then I'll just change the call out, change the font color, remove the label. Alright, there you go. So now let me just adjust accordingly. So I'm going to put here the title, and I'm going to put here to change accordingly. And if they say I want to align center, I'll just go here, call out, and under value, I'll just align to the center. Okay, so what is so interactive is, just say I click here on Africa, it will show me the performance of Africa, Americas, APAC, Europe, Middle East, and this is how you can actually play around. And if they say you want to deep dive to know about the countries, so I just select APAC, and I want to select based on just say Malaysia, since I'm from Malaysia, and then this is how you can play around. So Malaysia, Japan, so this is how you can actually play around the countries. Alright, so you can actually create a Power BI dashboard to actually show the month-on-month performance to your manager, so that your manager can understand this performance.